Hello, my little mathematicians. We are here again today, ready to work on our next lesson together. Today, we are working on lesson 5 of our math module 4. And our objective today is that we are going to be forming rectangles by tiling with square units to make arrays. So we are very familiar with arrays. We made them all through module 1, all through module 3, the one that we just did, and worked with that. So our I can statement is I can make rectangles with square units. Materials today, as always, you need a pencil. You might want your tiles handy. If you might want to do a little bit of tiling with them, your square inch or centimeter tiles. And you need your math lesson 5 problem set, and you need your ruler. Okay, so the most important materials today is your math 5 problem set, a ruler, and a pencil. Before we dive right in today, though, I want to do the application problem that goes with our lesson to warm up our math brains. Okay, so if we take a look, it says Candace uses square centimeter tiles to find the side lengths of a rectangle as shown. She said the side lengths are 5 centimeters and 7 centimeters. Her partner, Louise, uses a ruler to check Candace's work and says that the side lengths are 5 centimeters and 6 centimeters. Who is right, and how do you know? Take a look at that, boys and girls. What do you think? I'll give you about 30 seconds to take a look at that and decide who do you agree with. So Candace says the side lengths are 5 centimeters and 7 centimeters. Louise says the side lengths are 5 centimeters and 6 centimeters. Who is right, and how do you know? What do we think? So I'm going to look. Let's see if we came up with the same thing. So for the side length that I'm going to label right here for how many rows there are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to count one more time to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you agree? Did you get 7 there too? All right. And the top, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each row. So there are 7 rows of 5. So Candace said the side lengths are 5 and 7. Louise said 5 and 6. Who's right? Candace is right? Because the side lengths are 7 and 5. Okay, so I'm not going to write it, but that was just a little warm up for us just to kind of get us thinking back into area and math. So we are going to jump right into our next lesson today. So like I said, we are on lesson 5 problem set. Go ahead and put your name and date on the paper if they're not there already, and make sure that you have your ruler ready to go. Okay, the directions for number 1 say that we're going to use the centimeter side of a ruler to draw in the tiles, and then skip count to find the unknown area. Write a multiplication sentence for each tiled rectangle. So the area for A, they're already telling us is 18 square centimeters. If we look, A is already filled in. There's no missing tiles that we can see with the rest of the page. So if we look here, there are 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. And it says that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in each row. It doesn't say that. You can figure that out, right? There's 6 in each row. But what it does tell us is that there are 18 tiles in it. So there's 6. So we have 6, 12, 18. And of course, I could touch each one. So I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the area there is 18. And when they're labeling the area, it would be 18 square centimeters. Okay. So that's A. Do D with me, and then depending on how you're feeling, maybe you want to try the rest of the front on your own, or stick with me for a couple more and then try on your own. Okay, so let's do, did I say B? Let's do D. Let's do B together right here. I was looking up there. Let's do B together, and then depending on your comfort level, maybe you want to move on. Okay, so we're trying to find the area, but we need to finish tiling. So it says that we're going to be using our centimeter side of our ruler. So just like we did on yesterday's lesson, we're going to line it up. So I want to be on my centimeter side, which is the smaller unit of measurement there, right? I want to line the end of the rectangle up with 0, and then I'm going to put a little tick mark for each centimeter. Now they already have the line put there for 1 centimeter. So now I'm going to put a tick mark for 2 and for 3 and for 4, and there's already 1 for 5. And then I can slide my ruler straight down. And again, there's already a mark there for 1. So I'm going to put a mark for 2, a mark for 3, a mark for 4, and there's already 1 for 5. So this is the same exact thing that we did yesterday. The only difference is that today they're kind of started for us a little bit. Okay. Maybe before I connect, maybe I'll just do my other side and mark the centimeters. That way I can just connect after. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way. And again, mark that top corner up with the 0. Work carefully so that we're lining it up equally and we're getting those true centimeters. So the 0 is lined up at the corner or the end of your ruler, right? We said some rulers look different. I'm going to put a tick mark at the 1, at the 2, at the 3, and then the 4 comes right to the end. I don't need to do it for this side because it already has these ones right there, right? So if I'm like, let's say I connect this first, I'm going to stick it up to the top like that. If I do this way, I can just connect my tick mark here with the line that's already right there. Okay. So once you have all that, go ahead and connect. Okay. I think I will just start this way since I was already here, whichever, if you want to connect the top to the bottom or the side to the side first, go ahead and connect. Try to get it as close as possible. There's my side to side. And now side to side this way, right? The horizontal. And now I'm going to connect vertically. I feel like I should have like some relaxing music on while we do this. Okay, it won't take us too long. Do-do-do. 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 So there's what mine looks like, and yours should really look the same, right? Because we measured. If you need to pause it so you can finish that up, you can certainly do that. Okay. And let's see here. So we want to fill in the blanks for the side lengths. They already put down the side length. So it said for the side length here is 4 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And at the top they have 5 because there's 5 in each row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for my multiplication sentence, it would be 4 times 5. What does that equal? You can count by 4s 5 times. You can count by 5s 4 times, or maybe you know the answer already. I'm going to count by 5s 4 times. Will you count with me? Counting fingers ready? Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20. So my answer is 20 for my multiplication sentence. So then I'm going to take that 20 right up top there, and I'm going to fill in my area. So the area is 20 square centimeters because that's what we're finding with this, right? We're finding the area. Okay. So now I'm going to leave this up to you. If you want to stay with me and try a couple more, you can. If you're not feeling quite confident yet, or if after doing this yesterday, you're feeling really good about it, you can go on. Just once you finish with F, go back and check your work with mine through the video. You can kind of rewind and fast forward to the video as you need to, and then join me on the back and we'll work on the back together. All right. So C. All right. So I'm going to measure C. You too. So they already did this one side. So I'm going to do the top and mark, there's that 1 centimeter. There's the line for the 2 centimeters, and it lines up at the end with 3 centimeters. Give myself some room here with this ruler. And I'm going to slide it down and do the same thing on the bottom. The 1's already marked. I'm going to mark the 2, and the 3 comes to the end. Turn my ruler to the side. And I'm going to mark my centimeters on the side. So there's the 0. I'm going to mark the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and then the 6 is right at the bottom, right? Then I'm ready to connect. Since my ruler is already going this way, I'm going to connect my top and the bottom. Okay. and then connect my lines horizontally. This isn't looking like it's gonna quite, I thought that looked a little bit crooked there, and it definitely did. All right, that's okay. Pretty close, right? How'd we do? Okay. If we are going to fill in our side lengths, they already have 6 on the side for us. And if I look at the top, I've got 1, 2, 3. They already wrote our area up top there. So I think I'm going to write my side length, my missing side length at the bottom. So I'm going to put a 3 right on the bottom there. And then I can put that time sign. So then what would my number sentence there be? If there's 6 rows and there's 3 in each row, my number sentence would be 6 times 3. And it already gave us the area or the answer there, which would be 18. How'd you do there? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at D. So the same thing for D. We'll measure in centimeters. The whole thing is centimeters. It already tells us that the area is 24. So I'm going to mark tick marks for my centimeters. And the more and more you do this, it gets faster and faster, right? So I marked the top. I'm just sliding my ruler straight down to do the bottom. And it ends at the 8. I'm going to turn my ruler this way and mark my centimeters on the side. And now I have everything marked and I can connect. Okay. If you're working on this one with me, you can pause it if you're not right with me. Obviously, I've been doing this for a while, right? So I can be pretty speedy with it. I'm going to go this way first. Keep sliding it over and drawing our line. Slide it over in line, slide it over, draw the line, slide it over, draw the line, slide it over, draw the line. And those are my vertical marks, and I want to turn it horizontal and then go side to side this way. Slide it down and connect the last ones. Okay. All right. So once we have that, they already labeled this side length as 3. It told us that our area of the whole thing is 24 square centimeters. That means that if we were to touch each one, this rectangle is filled with 24 square tiles. And so we just need to label the other missing side. So if this is 3, because there's 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, we want to find out how many are in each row. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 in each row. Let's stick it on the bottom again since it's kind of crowded up top. There's 8 on the bottom. If I wanted to put centimeters there, I can. Put it down there either. Okay, so then for my side lengths for my number sentence here, I have 3 rows with 8 in each one. So it would be 3 times 8 equals, well, we can do that math. They also already told us the answer, which is right there. So since they said the area of this whole thing is 24 square centimeters, 3 times 8 equals 24. What do you think? Are you getting the hang? So if you haven't started your independent work yet, I would like you to try E and F on your own. If you're just back and checking and you are getting it, super job. So keep up the great work. All right. So for E, so I'm hoping everyone is just checking with me right now that we've done the work. Okay. So I'll try to go faster here. Marking my side lengths. And I think, well, I'll just go ahead and do it real quick. Connect, 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 connect. And just the top and the bottom here. Connect and get over there. connect. Okay. So now that I have that, it already gives me this side length here of how many rows there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So they put the 5 right there. And then how many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in each row. I put my times sign there in the corner. If I put that times sign in the corner, that makes it so much easier for me to bring that multiplication sentence right here. So what is the multiplication sentence that you put right there, guys? 5 times 4 equals 20. 5, because there's 5 rows, times 4, because there's 4 in each row. You maybe did the math and found 20. They also gave you the total right there of 20. All right, this last little itty bitty one. I'm looking at this one. What do you notice about this shape? I'm looking at, already told me the side lengths are 3 and 3. So what shape exactly is this? This is a square, right? If it has equal side lengths, it would be a square. So this one, since it's smaller, you can do this pretty quickly. There's the 1 and the 2. It ends on 3. And 1 is marked, so there's the 2. Bring it down. Running into stuff on my table. Mark the 2. Connect. Put it down. Connect. And this way, connect. All right, so I already labeled the side lengths of 3 and 3. So for my multiplication sentence, did you put 3 times 3? Yes. What does that equal? 3, 6, 9. So it equals 9. So my area would be 9 square centimeters. How'd you do on that? Okay, so if you worked through on your own, I hope you checked and made sure that everything was okay. I hoped that you worked carefully with your measuring and with your straight edge to try to make those as nice and neat as possible. Okay, and if you worked independently on most of the front, I would like you to stick with me on the back for a chunk of it, okay? All right, go ahead and flip it. All right, on the back, it says Lindsay made a rectangle with 35 square inch tiles. She arranges the tiles into 5 equal rows. What are the side lengths of the rectangle? Use words, pictures, and numbers to support your answer. So we're working with area now, but is this RDWW? It sure is, because it's a word problem, right? So RDWW. Okay, so we read it, but let's go through and plot our important information, right? So Lindsay makes a rectangle. So we do know that it's a rectangle. Okay, and it has 35 square inch tiles. If she has 35 of these are square inches, right? Is that my total? It is, right? So 35 would be my total. And let's see, she arranges the tiles in 5 equal rows. What are the side lengths of the rectangle? Use words, pictures, and numbers to support your answer. All right, so there's my read. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm not going to do a tape diagram because it's a rectangle. And even though a tape diagram is a rectangle, it'll still be a little bit different. So she makes a rectangle. So let's draw a rectangle. Okay. And it says with 35 square inch tiles. So I know that the total is 35. So I'm going to put 35 right in the middle, right? Because when we find area, we're finding how many square tiles it takes to fill up the inside of a shape. So I'm going to put 35 in there. All right. And she arranges the tiles into 5 equal rows. So my rows go this way. I'm going to put a 5 there. And I want to know, what are the side lengths of the rectangles? So if there's 5 rows, obviously that one side is a 5. So we know the total is 35. We're trying to find this side length up here, right? That missing side length. So basically it's 5 times something equals 35, right? Let's rewrite that equation. 5 times blank equals 35. And its area, so 35 square inches. So 5 times what equals 35? So maybe you already know the answer if you know your facts like that. If not, how could we solve this? We can count by 35. Count by fives until we get to 35. Ready? So even if you know, count with me, okay? Counting fingers ready? Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So what's that missing side length? 7. So I can put that up there. And here too, 5 times 7 equals 35. So let's see here. What do I need to say? What are the side lengths of the rectangle? Okay, so the side lengths are 5 and 7. And we could say 5 and 7 inches because that's what we're dealing with, right? Because 5 times 7 equals 35, period. Okay, so the side lengths are 5 and 7 inches because 5 times 7 equals 35. So we use like a missing number to help us to solve that. We knew one side, we knew the total, so we were multiplying to find that missing side length. So let's make sure I did everything. I did a draw. I drew that rectangle. I wrote a number sentence, and we wrote our sentence. Okay, let's go to number 3. Here we go. Mark has a total of 24 square inch tiles. This is already WW2, right? Let me just write that there so I don't forget again. Okay, it's a total of 24 square inch tiles. He uses 18 square inch tiles to build one rectangular array. He uses the remaining square inch tiles to build a second rectangular array. Draw 2 arrays that Mark might have made. Then write multiplication sentences for each. All right, I'm trying to think. I don't have my highlighter right with me. We can kind of use this marker right here. Okay, so Mark has a total of 24 square inch tiles. That's my total, right? So I can also highlight the word total. If you don't have your highlighter right with you, because I forgot to tell you, then you can just kind of mark it or circle the word. Okay, he uses 18 square inch tiles to build one rectangular array. He uses the remaining square inch tiles to build a second rectangular array. Okay, so remaining is also a clue word because it kind of tells us that if it's remaining, it's what's left over. And left is a clue word to do what? To subtract, right? All right, so he has a total of 24 square inch tiles. He uses 18 square inch tiles to build one rectangular array. He uses the remaining square inch tiles to build a second rectangular array. Draw the 2 arrays that Mark might have made, then write a multiplication sentence for each. All righty, let's see here. We have a lot of information here, so let's kind of pull it apart even more. 24 square inch tiles. He uses 18 square inch tiles to build one rectangular array. Okay, so one of them, I know that the area is what? 18, right? Because it tells me. So let's draw one rectangle. One rectangular array. We'll do one rectangle. And we know that the area of this one is going to be 18. So let's write 18 square inches. Okay, I know that they're square inch. He uses 18 square inch tiles to build one rectangular array. So that the area of this one is 18. He uses the remaining square inch tiles to build a second rectangular array. But how do I know how many are left over? What would I do? We said remaining means how many are left, which means that we're going to subtract, right? So if he had a total of 24 and then the first one he used 18, what would I do with the 24 and the 18? I'm going to subtract those, right? So I'm going to stick it right up to the side here. 24 minus 18. 4 minus 8. Can't do it, right? So cross out the 2, make it a 1. The 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 8 equals, what'd you get? 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So how many square inch tiles does he have left over? 6, right? So that's definitely going to be a smaller one. And I'm going to put 6 square inches inside that one. All right, let's see. Are we done? What else is it asking us? He uses the remaining square inch tiles to build a second rectangular array, draw 2 arrays that Mark might have made, then write multiplication sentences for each. So basically we know the areas of both, but we need to figure out what could our side lengths be for this. So like what times what equals 18. So blank times blank equals 18. And same thing for this one. So what times what equals 6. Blank times blank equals 6. I know the area of both, but I need to find what numbers when I multiply together would equal those areas. So if you want to pause it and see if you can figure out what those would be, that would be great. Okay, what did you find? There's a couple different things that we could put here, a few different things, right? So I could say, maybe I want to say that this side length is 2 and this side is 9. Did you say that? 2 times 9 equals 18. That works, right? Maybe you said 3 times 6 equals 18. Would that work too? Absolutely. Can you think of anything else? Did you say 1 times 18 equals 18? You only had to say one, but I'm just putting all 3 possible choices because I gave you a chance to put some different ones, right? And the only reason I'm putting these smaller numbers first is because this side is small, right? So I wouldn't want to put 9 here and 2 up there because that would mean that this side, if it was 9, would be way longer. And this is my short side, so I want to label my sides appropriately, right? Same thing. If you put 3 times 6, you would want your 3 there and your 6 there. If you did 1 times 18, you would want your 1 there and your 18 up top. And that would actually be like really long and skinny if you had 1 times 18. Okay, good job. For the other one, it had to equal 6, maybe you put 2 times 3. Okay. And again, you would want to put the 2 there and the 3 up there instead of 3 and 2 because this is your shorter side. So you want it to match up. So since that's the short side, you would want the 2 there because 2 is smaller than 3. You also could have put 1 times 6 equals 6, right? Again, that would probably be longer and skinnier, but those work to get that area of 6. Okay, so let's see. We did our read, we did our draw, we wrote our number sentences. And actually, as I'm looking at this, draw 2 arrays that Mark might have made, then write multiplications. We could actually cross off that last W because it's really just asking us to draw the arrays and to write our number sentences. Okay, last one. 2 parts, but that's okay. All right. Leon makes a rectangle with 32 square inch tiles. That's my total right there. So I'm going to circle it. Okay. There are 4 equal rows of tiles. How many tiles are in each row? Use words, pictures, and numbers to support your answer. So this would definitely be RDWW. Okay. So he makes a rectangle. So I'm going to draw a rectangle with 32 square centimeter tiles. So that is the total. So I'm going to put 32 on the inside and it's 32 square centimeters. So I'm going to put square cm. Okay. There are 4 equal rows of tiles. So there's 4 rows. So where does my 4 go? 4 goes right there because there's 4 rows. How many tiles are on each row? So 4 times what? You could actually take out your tiles, boys and girls. And if you have, I don't know how many you have, but you would need to have a total of 32. And if you wanted to do this with your tiles, and it said you would have 4 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, you could set up your 4 rows, and then you would just keep adding 1 to each row until you get to 32. Okay, that would be if you have enough square inch tiles for that. I don't have 32 of these, so I can't do that right now. But we could set up our number sentence to say 4 times blank equals 32. And the other way that I could do that is I could count by 4s until I get to 32. I need to be good at my skip counting though. So that's why it's important for us to keep practicing those skip counting songs if we aren't confident in them. Okay, but let's get our counting fingers ready and let's count to 32 by 4s. Ready? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So what do we get? 8, right? So 4 times 8 equals 32. So that would be 8 up there. So if I look at it, I did my read, I did my draw, I wrote my number sentence, and I'm looking at it. It says how many tiles are in each row. That would be this right here, right? And so we would say there are, capital letter, there are 8 tiles in each row. Don't forget your period. Right? You can't forget that period at the end. Check your sentence, make sure it has a capital letter at the beginning and a period at the end. And the last part here, if you need to pause it to finish your sentence, please do. I'm going to keep chugging because we're almost done. B says, can Leon arrange all of his 32 tiles into 6 equal rows? Okay, so if he had his 32 tiles, could he arrange them into 6 rows? So this means, could we do 6 times something and have it equal 32? So let's try counting by 6 and see if we can get to 32. Okay, right off the bat, do you think we can do it? Maybe you already say, yeah, I know we can do it, or no, you can't do that. Okay, but let's go ahead and try it, right? So let's get your counting fingers ready and count by 6. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So we skipped right over 32. So is it possible to have 6 rows and have an area of 32? No, right? So can he do it? Explain your answer. We need words. No, comma, because you can't count by 6 and get to 32 evenly. That just means that when I'm counting, I can't count, and it won't, if I'm counting by 6s, it won't stop on 32. Okay. So we definitely worked hard today. You did a really good job. I hope that we're feeling more and more confident with area, and keep chugging along. Keep doing a good job, boys and girls. That's Winnie in the background barking away. Okay. All right. I will see you tomorrow.